Good morning. Today when I was going through the internet, I think it was a buzz, but I seen it previous the day before on Facebook, and it was about men that survived sexual abuse. And I think they're heroes to come out and let people know that they were victims. You know, a lot of times when I was growing up, I remember one guy in particular, and I guess like after the guy raped him, they called him a faggot. So anyway, he jumped out like a third floor window, and he didn't survive. But anyway, but the thing is, I think that, you know, with men, you know, I think that's a brave act. I think that in our society, I hate to say it, I think it's a rape society, and that we victimize the victims more. But with men and women both speaking up, it makes you stronger. You know what I'm saying? With all of us together, it makes it stronger. You know, I don't think it's, you know, like the biggest thing you could do when I was young is to, you know, have to tell somebody that you were raped, because I guess that the victim of rape was something to chastise, to make fun of, or find excuses why it's acceptable for a male to act that way. You know, either it's the way the woman dressed, or, and the biggest thing I remember in a social study class, whatever, was that they had a study, because they had a problem when they brought the bikinis out. Men just started raping. You know, they were able to sell the women on the idea by just showing different movie stars, you know, in bikinis. So, poof, you know. But anyway, so what they told the people was something had to do with ice cream, but it actually the maturity of, like, women, you know, they get their period first, so I used to say they matured first. They didn't mean mentally. They just meant, you know, physically there. And there's a difference, because, you know, there's still growth in your brain in teenagers. That's very important. And or past adolescence. I mean, there's still some, you know, and the thing is, when you think about growth, because like you can put this with evolution. When you come out as a little baby, okay, the evolution of your lifespan, you know, you do have one. You start off as a fetus. You start off even smaller than that. Some microscopic sperm over here and an egg over here, you know. But anyway, this is sort of and so like and at this time, you know, you start off small, and as you grow bigger, not only are you getting bigger, but anyway, so there's always been intentionally that misunderstanding, oh, girls are more mature. They just mean that you usually start, girls, like boys usually balls drop at 13. Girls sometimes start bleeding at 12, so they could, like, basically mature early. Doesn't mean it you know, and since and when I mean your mental capabilities are still growing, I'm saying that, you know, you have hormones coming on during that time, and you're learning how to adapt, and you know, I just lost the word I wanted to use. But anyway, in boys usually it's 13. I mean, I was 13. But anyway, and which is also normal. Nowadays it gets younger. I was always told that if there was like any type of penetration of the little hymen got broke, that they would start having their flow sooner. And that was the big thing about that. You know, except for the fact that females, even after fully developed, or, you know, like, they're no longer getting any taller. They might be getting out wider, but, you know, their feet stop growing. Once that happens, women still are the only mammals that could die in childbirth. and it's tenfold. Like if you rape a little girl and she gets pregnant, you know, chances of death. And the biggest thing is sexually transmitted diseases because of the ripping and the tearing that goes on. But, you know, excuse me. But I think that there's not anybody that's not aware that we might have a global problem. Like if you look at Africa, Nigeria, the Buka guy. I just can't even think about him or say his name. It's just to do that to, you know, it's really very disgusting what they did to those children, and it's not. And if that's part of their religion, you know, bullshit. That's some shit. You know, some white propaganda motherfucker went over there, you know, to you know, I don't know, but I don't know where they. But I don't know, maybe because it's, you know, they're going from living off the land and, you know, using maybe a different currency than when the Caucasians come. Then, you know, they took over the land, they moved in the business, you know, they moved goods in and out, you know, that the goods from that's naturally, and it should be the people, the native people of that land. Just like I think like what Israel did was an abomination. You don't do the same thing that was done to you, you know, and think you're going to get a blessing when you do evil on other people. Because what you did to the Palestinians, that's wrong. It's just wrong, you know. Because like when I'm in the United States, we got Muslims and anybody else that wanted to come here is here, you know. And they're segregated a lot of times, you know, in their different areas, because that's where they located, a lot of them. But, you know, like, you know, have Chinatown and Little Italy, like in New York or whatever, and, you know, they're not sitting there logging bombs at each other. So you just, I mean, but anyway, there is a big rape culture. And I think by men being so brave, and you know what, they're my heroes. you know, they were talking about the things these guys said to them. Not much different than when they say that, you know. And I don't see, you know, like I just want to address the fact that to like young boys and girls, one of the hardest things is to go to adult because they're going to belittle you, and you know, maybe this person, you know, is supposed to be more important than you. You know, oh well, he's a coach, you know, like at that university. You know what I'm saying? But at one time he wasn't a coach. You know, he filled out an application like anybody else. But what you can do, and it's just a suggestion. I had a girlfriend once, and she got raped, and like in the middle, like I guess right afterwards, she just took like broke a glass and she cut herself. You know, pretty bad. Which I don't really recommend cutting yourself because you could hit a main artery. But anyway, so she had to go to the emergency room. When she got there, she told the doctor. So, you know, like if you're able to go to the emergency room, you know. Because like if you're being raped, you're probably, you know, like they might go to sleep, or you know, even if it's your parent or whatever, like because it stays in you. I hate to say, for like 42 hours, sometimes even, or 48 to 72 hours rather, approximately. But like, you know what I mean. If you have to go to the school the next day, you could go to the nurse's office and or cut out and go to the emergency room, you know, on your own, and then you could tell the doctor, you know, and you could even tell like that if they ask you why are you here, you just tell them I need a rape kit, or if you can't tell them that, you could, you know, like if your friend's there, you know, like you know what I'm saying, but that instead of going to the police or you know, a preacher, because you know, these are, you know, a policeman. Ferguson proved very well, I know here they haven't tested the rape kits in here in Memphis for 10 years. But if you go to a doctor, you go to emergency room, even if you're a child, even if you have to, do that old trick where you warm the thermometer up and you don't feel good, hopefully if you got like a temperature of 102, they'll let you go to the hospital. Or just, you know what I'm saying? Everybody has a cell phone. If you don't want them to really know what's going on, because like once the ambulance gets there, you could tell the people, But, I mean, that's just something to think of, because one of the biggest problems is the way they treat you in the justice system. Humiliate you, shame you, ask you ridiculous-ass questions like, why were you wearing clothes? Because we're not allowed legally to go around naked. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So, I just want to honor those guys. I think that was fabulous, that you're brave enough. Now, I just hope we could save some children from this. And I think your actions by stating that you had been sexually abused, and it brings people aware to it that we do need to fix. And I go back to, if we fix the education system, you fix a lot. If you stop hitting your kids, and you might fix some. Now I think a lot of sexual abuse, it could be more than alcohol or drugs, but 9 out of 10 there's some type of drug or alcohol involved with somebody that But and some people are really narcissistic, like that 50 Shades of Grey. I didn't read the book because when I found out it was about S&M, that's ridiculous. You know what I mean? Not sexy. It's crazy. And sex, is, I don't think sex should, I don't think love should hurt. But anyway, I'm very proud of you guys. I think it was very honorable, especially the way, the men have taken it to their, they're immature. So now men don't, like, I hear men all the time about, you act like a man. So, instead of just when your balls fall, you're legally a man, just like, because, what I'm saying, when we start bleeding, hey, I'm a woman. Your balls drop, hey, you're a man. Might drop a year later. And that's also, a lot of guys don't know that's when that first time they're really going to have an orgasm. They're over there peeing on themselves. Or just causing nerve damage that might be more benefit to them later on after their balls drop, so they could utilize it. And so maybe they don't, like maybe when they want to, have sex with a woman, maybe it's too hard for them to get it hard. So I think it's a good thing. I'm very proud of these men. I think that, it's ridiculous, like with Bill Cosby. Because everybody heard of Spanish Fly. Everybody heard of Mickey's. Everybody heard of Roofie. Everybody heard of the date rape drug. And I'm here to tell you that if you're out, a lot of men will just look the fucking other way. They'll look the other way for, like, oh, that's their child. They'll look the other way, like, for people hitting. You know what I'm saying? We're trained to look the other way. But if you don't really want to get involved, in a way, sometimes if you just sat next to somebody right after it happened, they look real upset and don't even say nothing. If you know them, don't really like go into what they're going into. Maybe you'll offer them a piece of gum and just be sitting there. Sometimes they'll open up like that too. And if they open up like that too, that's when you even if you're not really that crazy or you don't like that person, that's when you join together to stop that other person from going on. Maybe not by confronting him yourself, but helping them to the hospital. Because that's one of the most important things, I think, in the first place that a lot of people need to go. The first thing you want to do is just scrub and maybe go shoot them in the head. But leave that alone until after you see the doctor. So anyway, have a good day.